You got cable? Nope. No. You got YouTube TV? Don't. Nope. What do you have? Netflix.
Cut, baby. Sure.
You're the first baby. Lastly, you must be 16 years of age with a valid driver's license. The speed limit on track property is 15 miles per hour. So, and also, to our spectators, please do not walk the middle of the road unless the motorized vehicles get to where they need to get to. So you're not breaking the wheels. You must be 16 years of age with a valid driver's license. And absolutely, positively, no glass bottles of any kind.
Yeah, he won last year. Yeah, he took out him. He took out only 2
tool pump slash siphon for outdoor clutch transmissions for draining and filling it up with oil. And this comes with a kit with, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was like 14 attachments. Yep, not bad at all. Cool. So now we can fill that DSG with some oil, because I was waiting and it would not drain in through the filter housing, to the point where I just threw in the towel. I was like, let me just go ahead and order the right tool for the job. So this baby should be it. I was going to say it should come with a handle. The video showed a large handle coming off of it. Cool, handle would connect right there. Sweet. All right, now we're back in business. It's TT time. And yes, my transmission pump came in. Came in very quick. I have my oil out. Let's get prepped to fill this transmission up with some gear oil. Underneath, you have to loosen and remove your drain plug. That would be a 14mm hex socket. And this, of course, should be bone dry because I did a complete rebuild of the transmission. Pretty much install new clutches. And then next is the second plug right there. This will be a 8mm. Loosen this up and take it out. Put the drain pan underneath just in case there's any residual oil from me still attempting to fill this through the top, which never really happened. Took forever. A little bit may have gone in, but not much at all. Okay, here we go. What's this? Then you find your appropriate adapter. In this case, it would be the Volkswagen DSG ATF106. That would be this puppy right here. And yep, that's a perfect fit. ATF106. And that's for this particular DQ500 transmission. Has a nice little O-ring around it to help seal. Okay, that's ready. So I just filled up my container. You can see it's a little bit over 4 liters because I got probably almost close to a little bit over half a quart in here, but this is awesome. Actually, this is tilted, so it's closer to probably 4.5 because I'm on a hill. But either way, information says somewhere close to around 5 quarts. You use whatever particular method or desired amount for your transmission that's required, but of course it's still setup procedures. We're currently using the HPL boosted technology gear oil. Use the preference that is required for your transmission. Then we connect our quick release adapter, which is pretty cool. This will block it off, of course. Inline is for open flow. Make sure it's nice and secure. Spring loaded, which is nice. And pump it up. And as you can see, the oil is going in to the transmission. And this is very quick compared to what I was going through before. It was not fun at all. And that's pretty much it. We're all pumped in. Any residual oil, you can just put that back into your container, save it for another time, just in case you have to add more. And what I'm gonna do is shut off my valve. Primarily, even though it's a quick disconnect fitting, I don't want to take a chance of when I disconnect my hose, any residual oil that's in the line to run out on the ground. I'd rather save that for another use. Okay, according to the information, we're going to lose a little bit of oil. I'll take my adapter back out and put in my plug. And I will definitely add, you want to have your plugs close by because you will lose a little bit of oil. As I went to do my changeover, I did lose a little bit in the pan, but I will later have to go back in and add more oil, because in our application I'm going to install an external oil filter, an external oil cooler, and with that, of course, it's going to use more oil in the lines. So we'll take that step when we get to it, but that's the basic steps on how to fill this transmission. A quick note, if my valve is open, because this is a quick release fitting, it will hold the oil, so oil will not drain back. So that's just good to know, just for reference. Okay, I temporarily hooked up the Motec on a test bench because I wanted to get some idea of what this thing was looking like and to make sure everything worked. This has been in a box for years collecting dust, and I plugged it up, 2 wires, okay, and my Ethernet cable, and we made connection. And as you can see, we're connected. So when I purchased this, I purchased it directly from Australia, and he asked what type of engine I was going to be utilizing this on, and we said a VR6 Audi TT, and he said, okay, I don't think anybody's done that build yet, but what he did was gave us a baseline GM V6 file from off of a 3.6 liter, okay? So we're going to have to transform and build this file into a beast of a file for a turbocharged Audi TT 3.6 liter. So baby, let's get started and let's do this. I got a lot to learn, but we can do this. You know, I can't wait to get to this S4. This thing was an extremely fun car. It had a stage 3 in there. Only reason I parked it was because the turbo failed and it started blowing smoke. So with that, I already have pretty much a engine, stroke engine, that needs to just be put together. Had the block already bored out, stroker crank, nice JE pistons, side heads, aftermarket CAD cams, everything. So really, it's bolting this thing together and getting a newer aftermarket, probably like a plug and play ECU, and we can start getting this thing back together. But this was a fun and fast car. I enjoyed just being on the road, beating up on Vets and Mustangs, different things like that, especially getting them off the line at a stoplight. That was just being crushed by a wagon or being dragged by a wagon did not make many people feel good. So this was definitely a fun car, as well as I used it just to haul a lot of parts back and forth. Whenever I went to the salvage yard, I will stick like an engine block or different things in the back of that. So this was a multi-purpose vehicle, not necessarily a grocery getter. It was a parts getter and pretty much a crusher, aftermarket suspension, all kind of things on here. So this car was a pretty fun car. We got to get back to it. I got too many projects that's collecting dust because that thing is taking up a tremendous amount of time. But I was originally wiring this thing up. As you can see, the spaghetti is everywhere with the factory Motronic unit. And now I'm pretty much getting set up for the Motec. I want to start just measuring some of the voltage signals, going for the drop-by wire and the foot pedal, different things like that. I found some schematics from a different manufacturer that pretty much says it's 5 volts going to the pedal to pretty much control the sensors, and I want to confirm that. So when I power this back up, I could just do some voltage measurements, pretty much test it out, so that way that'll give me a mindset on how to set up the Motec unit. So let's get with this and then get back in the house, get up on the test bed and start playing with that Motec. That thing is understated with all the things that it can do. Totally understated. The Motec M182 is off the chain. It's to the point where you look at all the features, it becomes extremely overwhelming to a point where it becomes intimidating to make you want to just downplay and take a basic aftermarket ECU. Jumping into that Motec M182 was definitely jumping into the big league. So I was pushed in the ocean, not even a swimming pool, pushed in the ocean, and now I have to swim with an Audi TT tailored to my ankle, tethered to my ankle, and swim back to shore. So let's see if we can do not the impossible. Let's do what I know is the possible. Metaphorically anyway. I don't think too many people or anybody can swim back to shore dragging a heavy car on their ankle. You're going to sink to the ocean. But metaphorically speaking, let's do this.